Yo, what's up guys? Terrell here from Terrell Game Vlogs. So, it's Sunday night. It's a little bit past midnight. And, I don't know. People seem to like, I got more than 30 likes on the last video. So I will tell the story of my first girlfriend, which I'm surprised I haven't told already. But also, for right now, we're also going to talk about, I don't know if I'm going to make this a weekly thing. It'll just come as it comes. But the next video I do will probably be the girlfriend video, and then this video is going to be this. So, please keep up the likes, keep up the subscriptions, keep up the notifications. That gives me kind of a general idea that you guys are interested in YouTube algorithm bullshit. So, notification bell, please. Subscription, please. Thank you. Let's move on. So, the title of this video is probably going to be something along the lines of Power Corrupts. This is essentially based on, just ironically enough, I think it's based a lot in the YouTube space. Now, it can be based in general, and it seems like a general statement because it is. But I want to kind of go through the thought process and the dangers, specifically probably in the YouTube space. And the main example I'm going to use of this is probably, well, I can use technically two examples, so I might jump between the two of them. But the main one I'm going to focus on is the etika situation. The etika situation, for those who don't know, if you're a Nintendo fan, specifically, you know who Etika is, and if you don't know who Etika is, you've at least seen Etika if you're a Nintendo fan, because he kind of is hard to miss. He was the dude who was super popularized because he was out here making videos reacting to new Smash Brothers characters. He's the one that goes, Mewtwo! 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 Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! And he got popular off of that and then just kind of rolled with it. He was very Nintendo deviant heavy. I think Heavenly Control is also another popular deviant heavy YouTuber, but that was his niche, Nintendo and deviant shit. And then he essentially just turned into a Twitch streamer that did a lot of reaction videos and commentaries. Which, to be fair, is how he got popular to begin with. Even though there are evidence on his channel of him trying to do other things before that. The reason why I use him as this example is because he's been popular for a while off of that stuff. And I think it was like late last year, he kind of freaked a lot of his fans out because he tweeted some disturbing suicidal type shit. And the police had to come over there and check. And he was later on saying, and he uploaded porn to his YouTube channel, which is what got his YouTube channel deleted or banned, I forget which. And later on, he when he came back, mentioned, oh, sorry guys, I was just trying to get some attention. I was being kind of weird and goofy. Like, essentially implying that, oh, don't worry, it wasn't a big deal, it was a joke. And then recently, I think he just did it like a few weeks ago. Same thing. Where he started acting weird on social media, talking about committing suicide. I'm gonna shoot myself with a gun, saying a lot of weird things that didn't make any sense. And once again, I think the police were called and, oh, so sorry guys, I was just being weird and goofy. And part of me thinks, and a lot of people are genuinely concerned for him. And that's because he's gained a fan base who loves him and loves the content he produced, but realizes he's a person. And this is what I mean by power corrupts. I don't mean in the sense of you abusing your power, which is what I partially think this is, but I also mean in terms of destroying you. Corruption is a bad thing. It will lead you to death eventually. So when I say corruption, I don't mean like, oh, you just become an evil bastard. I mean like, this shit will take you down. And the YouTube fame that's been coming since what? The mid to late 2000s has taken a lot of people down, alright? In one way or another. And I think people need to understand the main issue is that some people get famous way too quickly and YouTube made it way too easy to become famous way too quickly. Like, people's lives were ruined because of them becoming famous one way or another. Remember the old jokes like the Numa Numa guy and the Star Wars kid and Chocolate Rain? Like, I think the Star Wars kid had a really tough time. Or some of the meme pictures, it was the same shit. Like, the internet allows an individual to gain an insane amount of fame and eyes on them at once without any level of build-up or, like, like, there is no migration. Like, at least when it comes to, like, Hollywood acting, for the most part, you still got to start off on some smaller roles to get your big break, which then breaks you into the concept of stardom. But at least you're already in a system where all that shit's already happening, so there's like a slow build-up. For a bunch of kids and teenagers and young adults on the internet, it's literally like, I go from this to like this in the matter of like a day or some shit. And I think for certain YouTubers, that fame can do one or two things. One, it gets you insanely cocky and confident. Now granted, a lot of us, let's be real here, if I'm recording a video on the internet, it's because I probably don't either A, I don't have the self-confidence naturally, so the real me gets to be able to project through the videos, which is what people tend to like, or B, I just want some attention. I mean, realistically, that's what it is. You want the attention, hence why you make the video. It just depends on how the amount of attention you get is relative. Sometimes shit just happens. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know if anyone's felt this way, but for those who make videos, you'll have a video do insanely well that you had no intention for it to do that well. Because you don't know what the people are going to like. Shit just kind of happens. But a lot of people who ended up making YouTube channels were people who either A, weren't heavily bothered by in society, meaning like they weren't getting the attention they were looking for, or they didn't get the community or people they wanted to interact with offline, and they went online, or two, they were kind of like quiet and insecure, but still had thoughts and opinions they wanted to share. And hey, you ended up on here. But like I said, that jump in popularity that can come out of nowhere can create a huge fucking ego, even though it also comes with a boost of confidence. The other problem is, and the problem with that is that when it corrupts, it also turns into like a pseudo god complex where you feel like you can get away with fucking murder because I got like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, maybe even millions, who will sit there and eat up anything I fucking say. That's why why do you think there's so many YouTube exposed videos? Because a lot of people are under the impression they can bullshit. And for the most part, they can, because the only way it will ever come to light is either A, if the viewer is smart enough to catch on to the bullshit, or two, somebody calls them out on it. It's usually one of those two things. Etika, I think, is in a situation where I think it's a little bit of both. I think honestly, he's gotten to the point now where he's become the kooky ass reactor guy who just does a lot of like 18 plus switch gangster shit. Like, it's like he's become a meme in himself. Like, think about it. The thing that even propelled him into popularity was a reaction video for a Nintendo character being revealed for Smash Brothers. Like, and then from that point forward, he became popular. Before originally was because of those videos, and it was like Nintendo related, and then on top of all that, it was him memeing and his hyper personality, his over exaggerated self. But the problem is when you get on YouTube, some people will adopt a personality. You kind of have to get that mass appeal. If you want that mass appeal or that like mainstream appeal that gets you like over 100,000 subscribers, some people have to do an exaggerated version of themselves because the real self isn't that damn interesting. And the dangerous part of that situation is that there becomes a disconnect. But if you have to wear the face all the time, the other problem is that now you're constantly wearing a mask, and your psyche is getting beaten down by the constant pressure to maintain this mask, this real version of this YouTube personality version of yourself, and it starts cracking. And eventually, either A, the mask is going to get ripped off, B, the mask is going to crack and fall off. Or C, you're going to crack with the mask when it falls off. So, I mean, that's the horrifying truth of what we're dealing with here. Etika, I think, is in a state of C, where, like, the mask is partially, because to be real with you, if you've seen Etika in, like, other people's videos where he's not, like, the main focus of the video, he's actually more mellow than you may claim. Not saying he's, like, fake, but I'm saying, like, there's obviously an uptick of exaggeration when it comes to, like, your own videos and when you're making the content, because this is your livelihood, this is your job. So if you don't make that money, you gotta play that game. The other thing, so I think part of it is him just kind of taking advantage of his user base, where he's also passive giving the fuck. Because the reality is this: at the end of the day, even though YouTubers, myself included, are providing you with content, we don't owe you a goddamn thing. I mean, that's the reality. It's not me being mean. That's just reality. And the problem is that some YouTubers don't know how to admit that to themselves. Some YouTubers go a little bit too far out of their way to appease people, and they end up breaking under the pressure. But people also go in the other direction, where they're so fucking full of themselves and so stuck in their own goddamn heads that they're 100% fine with the idea of being like, I don't owe these people who subscribe and watch my channel a goddamn thing, so I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And that's where you end up. You either end up losing yourself to the pressure, or you end up burning every bridge you're coming across, which is what Etika's currently doing. If you go, I think, I'm not even following Etika on Twitter, but I see people that I follow who do like Etika retweeting shit where he's just burning all of his bridges with his friends or associates. Like the ones who were sitting there talking about, hey, listen, maybe you need to go to the hospital. Maybe you need to go to a mental institution. It seems like you're suffering from a form of schizophrenia, but it's better to get like an actual evaluation. What's wrong? And to me, it reminds me of something from my personal childhood that really hits home with me, which is when you're sitting there and you're trying to explain the dangers, or like you're trying to have a serious conversation, and in the middle of that conversation that you're having that's super serious, the person you're talking to flips into a joke or just starts trying to deviate the subject completely. That, and for someone who cares about you, that is one of the most disheartening things you can have happen to you. When you're sitting there trying to pour your heart out and like, please listen to me, please go to the hospital. When you're sitting out here saying all this serious shit, please understand. And the response you get is, hey man, let's go play some Smash Brothers. And you're just like, fuck. That will ruin a person. Like, I've seen people break down just because of people don't understand. And the problem is that part of it could be that it's a mental health issue. The other part is that they don't give a damn. The other part could be, listen, you're just talking a bunch of bullshit I don't care about. If you're not going to come in here and play Smash, get the fuck out of my house. And all this comes from this huge popularity you've gained in a short amount of time based off of this one video you did where you overreacted to some shit. That's why I say one of the most important things you need if you're going to do this YouTube game is like a group of friends or people who give a shit about you. Like some sort of support system. So you got people there to either A, check you before you do something stupid, or B, keep you centered so you don't get caught up in this YouTube bullshit. Or any social media bullshit. I think this happens. Same thing with IG, Snapchat, any social media that you can get gassed up and get a big head over or just get caught up is dangerous. And I think a lot of people don't have a real support system. It's kind of crazy because Etika has friends online who are cool with him, but he didn't hit anybody up. Which means, to me, that means he didn't have a real support system. He had a bunch of associates he got along with, but he didn't have anyone that because at the end of the day, it has to be someone you can trust and someone you feel comfortable with. If you didn't have anyone like that holding you down to that degree, but you're still trying to get but you're getting kind of caught up, it's a slippery fucking slope, yo. And I think Etika has fallen off that ladder a few more damn times. He fell off the ladder, he caught himself half fall, he climbed up a little bit more, fell off the ladder again, caught himself mid-fall. I mean, that's what I should have been saying, mid-fall. And I think eventually he's going to get to the point where he's going to just fucking slip and fall, and he's not going to grab a goddamn thing. And to be fair, because I know that fall is what scares a lot of people, which in YouTube terms would be them disappearing and not showing up again because they've fallen off the internet, like that kind of stuff. I think for some people that might be the best thing to happen, for them to lose relevancy and for them to just kind of disappear. Because some people need that shit. Some people need to get away from this internet shit. And unfortunately, if you're the kind of person who's already made a name for himself, so you can't just exist in the internet space, you need to disappear. And Etika disappearing might be best, not for anybody else, but probably for him. But that's a suggestion. That's a theory. I know a lot of people wouldn't like that. I think niggas also taking advantage of people, and I think some people need to get. I'm a firm believer of if you were too stubborn to take someone's advice, that means you need to get smacked on the hand, or you need to, or something, or you need to fuck up or bust your ass before you get it. And I know people like that, and I can't fucking stand these people because it's so stupid. You gotta go through all that for you to understand a basic fucking concept. It's always basic shit. Don't treat people like shit, and believe in your friends and don't betray the friends who trust you, right? These aren't hard concepts. You get taught this shit in Arthur, Barney, and Clifford episodes. In Dragon Tales. Why the fuck is this such a hard concept for people? And why? Because you get caught up and you're stupid. But some people don't get it. So guess what? You need to bust your ass off the ladder. And for Etika, that's going to be a combination of A, losing relevancy, and B, losing viewer and interestship. I don't think Etika can handle the lifestyle that he's trying to do right now. Hence why he's doing all this extra shit. So I'm watching a car crash online. I'm watching this man burn every bridge he's on, and eventually one or two things are going to happen. Either his friends will get through to him and help him before he falls all the way off, or B, he's going to just fall all the way off and bust his ass. And it'll be up to him at that point whether he stays shattered on the ground or if he reforms and eventually might get back on the ladder. Power is a dangerous fucking thing, and YouTube is exceptionally dangerous because of how quickly you can gain a fuck ton of power. Which is insane, because people would still say, oh, it's not like the YouTube game is easy. Yeah, you're right, it's not easy. But it's easier than Hollywood or TV shows. It's way easier to get famous online versus something like movies and television, because on YouTube, you can get famous on accident. All you gotta do is put out a video that happens to catch the attention of an insane amount of people. Boom, instant success. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Leave your thoughts, comments in the comment section below. Like I said, the next video will be my first girlfriend story, because it's an interesting story, and it's a weird one, but it is an interesting story. And then, like I said, subscribe, notification bell, follow me on Twitter and various social media, join the Discord and all that other fun stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. So, anywho, life's a game. Play to win. No. This has been the Vlogs a Game from your boy Terrell, and I will catch you guys later. Peace. I'm sharpening the air because I'm a ninja, a karate master.